We believe that the soft touch of consultants and experts and advisors while doing these disclosures is super important. The biggest change is we are doubling down on working with partners and consultants to help them deliver their service. So it's instead of having one-to-one directly with the companies, which we find success and we have group 1 to 3 companies working with us, we believe that the soft touch of consultants and experts and advisors while doing these disclosures is super important, and we can't do it all by ourselves.
People kind of realizing what needs to get done. I think particularly those smaller companies, or I guess your middle-sized companies, are starting to feel the pressure. So that's kind of where we've seen our biggest uptick from. And it's kind of the same, like working with just different. We've been working with accountants through to different partners like yourself, helping with the carbon accounting platforms, just kind of working through on that basis.
When you're helping these companies in terms of things that you believe it's a risk they're not doing right, or sometimes they come to you and say, hey, we need carbon accounting, but maybe you look at them and say, what you need is like a governance program or a materiality assessment. What are some of the risks that you're encountering while you're dealing with these clients when they approach you?
Yeah, with the risks, I think a lot of the time they don't know what they want, and they don't really recognise what the risk may be. So it's just taking the time to step through that and explain that with them, and taking them on the journey, I guess, walking them through the various processes and what each one is going to give them in the long term. But it's also like meeting them on their terms. They might not have the capacity to invest in a full life cycle assessment all the time, and it may not be required just at this point. So if that's the case, then work with it where they're at.
And are you seeing that the biggest opportunity for you, as an example, with your B Corp background, is even if you go in for doing carbon accounting, is then being able to embed the B Corp processes? What do you see as
I think so. But sometimes they're just after those first initial steps and building that initial framework out for them to have a bit of success down the track, and whether it's just something as basic as putting in clear processes for them to reduce their emissions over the next couple of years. That's a good step. And that's probably a big step if they've done nothing in the past.
If you don't then embed the processes into your company, it becomes a problem on the track, because you can't act on those goals and those process changes in the governance because it's just been fully external.
I think that seems to be the whole. It doesn't matter the size of the company and what they're specifically after it for. But it's great you can do like an emissions assessment or whatever. But if you haven't got clear policy on the back of that and a clear sort of strategy on how to move forward, then it's just going to be a headache for them every time they need to do it.